Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be my July TBR. I have a few things planned for July, so I thought that a dedicated TBR video was a good idea. I'm going to be participating in Summerween this month, which is hosted by Gabby from Gabby Reads and Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte. I have a Patreon readathon that I'm doing with my patrons this month, and I just have some books that are on my TBR, some arcs that I have that I want to get read. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on in July, but I thought I would sit down and film a video and talk about all the books that I want to read for this month. So why don't we get started? So first up is my Patreon book club for July. We are reading Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This is a science fiction horror, I believe, about killer mermaids. I have heard a lot about this book. I'm a little worried because I don't love science fiction, but I've heard it's really good, so I'm hoping that doing it for the book club will be more fun and exciting, and hopefully talking to my patrons about it will be more enjoyable and we can have a really good discussion about this one. So let's go over my Summerween TBR. This is a very tentative TBR. I don't even have all the books picked out yet. I'm kind of going to play it by ear, but I do want to read all these books this month, so I'm trying to slip them in for my Summerween TBR. So I don't know how accurate this TBR is going to be, but I will try my best. The first Summerween prompt is read a book in the dark, and I decided to go with Whale Fall by Daniel Kraus. This is an arc I received from Atria. It is coming out in August 8th. So the back of the book says this is about a scuba diver who's been swallowed by an 80-foot, 60-ton sperm whale and has only 1 hour to escape before his oxygen runs out. I think this will be perfect to read in the dark because it sounds very anxiety inducing and kind of claustrophobic. So I feel like reading it in the dark will amplify those feelings and make me more like agitated and anxious, which is kind of weird that I want to feel like that, but I kind of do. So I'm hoping that this one might work. The second prompt is read a thriller. I'm going to go with The Swell by Ali Reynolds. If you remember, Shiver is one of my favorite winter isolated thrillers of all time. I absolutely loved it. So when I saw that Ali Reynolds released a new book, I ended up picking it up immediately. However, I haven't read it yet, so it's just been sitting on my shelves. I really did want to read it for the summertime, even though I'm not one of those people that needs to read books that matches the actual season that you live in. I don't really care about that, but for some reason I really wanted to read this one in the summertime, so I've been patiently waiting. So this book is about the main character Kenna, and 3 years ago her boyfriend ended up drowning, and so she hasn't surfed since then. Her best friend Mickey kind of springs her engagement on Kenna, and Kenna actually travels to Australia with Mickey and her new fiance to try and figure out what he's like because she's never met this man, and she ends up meeting his friends, and they're all like surfers, but they're all like hiding some things, I guess. I don't know. Sounds very interesting. It kind of reminds me of Shiver, which I obviously love. So I'm hoping I'll enjoy the surfing aspect to this one, and I might actually love it as much as Shiver. I highly doubt it, but I'm hoping I do love this one as well. The next prompt is read a book that takes place in the fall. I'm actually going to skip this prompt for now because I don't know what I want to read for it. I haven't decided. I'm kind of between a few books. I kind of want to look at my shelves a little bit more. Maybe I'll end up getting a new book that kind of fits it a little bit better. I don't know. So I'm kind of skipping that one for now because I'm not sure what I want to read. The next prompt is read a book with orange or black on the cover. I am going with Venko by Sherry D. Moline. This is by the same author who wrote Empire of Wild. I really enjoyed that book a lot more than I thought I was going to. So when I saw this book had come out, I went to grab it because I heard it's witchy. I actually don't know what the plot is, but I've heard it's like a feminist witchy story. I love witchy stories. I love feminist stories. So I think that this will be a lot of fun. I'm gonna go in blind because I just think that's a lot more fun. So hopefully I enjoy this one. And then the last prompt is read a manga, graphic novel, or a novella. I am gonna go with manga, and I'm going to read PTSD Radio Volume 3 because I have absolutely been loving this series and I haven't read this one yet. I'm so excited for it. It kind of reminds me of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark mixed with The Grudge. It's like these short stories with really eerie and creepy artwork. The artwork is absolutely beautiful. I love it so much. The stories all kind of interconnect a little bit. They have a lot to deal with like hair, hence why I'm kind of saying it reminds me of The Grudge a little bit. It just kind of, I don't know. The art just kind of reminds me of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark mixed with The Grudge. I don't know. I'm obsessed. I loved it. Both volumes I have given 5 stars, so I am very excited for this one, and I think it'll just be perfect for this month. So like I said, I'm doing a readathon with my patrons. It is called Camp Horrorween. I don't really have prompts for these readathons. It's just because I feel like it's a lot easier to do 48-hour readathons without like too many prompts. So basically I've just said that we're gonna read anything that has to do with summer camp, camping, summer in general, but they can read whatever they want. They don't have to read anything like that. That's just kind of the vibe. That's kind of the aesthetic that we're going for. So I have 3 books that I am thinking about reading for this readathon. The first one is The Lake House by Sarah Beth Durst. I have been seeing this all over Bookstagram. I absolutely love the cover. I think it looks so cool. I don't know too much about it. I just kind of actually bought it for the cover because I thought the cover was really freaking cool and I just really wanted it. But from what I gather, the main character gets sent to summer camp, and when she gets there, the camp is like just like deserted and kind of like burnt down, and then 2 other people end up showing up and they start getting like hunted or something like that. That's what I believe the plot is. I don't know too much about it. Like I said, I'm gonna go in blind. I love YA thrillers and YA horror, so I think this sounds like a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on this one, but I think it could be a good one and I think I could have fun while reading it. This next one is The Counselors by Jessica Goodman. I've actually had this one on my shelves for such a long time. I think I bought it last summer intending to read it and I never did. I don't know too much about this one either, but apparently it's about the main character who is a camp counselor along with her best friends, and then a teen ends up murdered and they have to figure out who did it, I guess. I don't know. That's all I really know about it. I think it could be fun. It sounds like it could be kind of silly, but hopefully it's more, you know, entertaining and thrilling than anything. But we'll see. And the last book in my readathon TBR is The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. This is also a YA, which I think is funny. I didn't mean for them all to be YA, but I guess they are. So again, I don't know too much about this one. I like to go into books blind, but from what I gather, this is about the main character Mars, whose twin is dead, and because they're like grieving, they end up going to this like summer academy thing, I guess, to talk to these friends of their sisters. They're called the Honeys, I guess, to find like closure and to find out more things about the sisters' death and like what led to it, I guess. That's all I know. I've heard a lot of positive reviews about this book. I think it sounds really good. I think it fits the summery summer camp vibe very well. I was going to read it in June, but I ran out of time and didn't get a chance to do that. So I'm going to try to read it for my Camp Horrorween readathon, and hopefully I'll actually get this one read finally. The next 3 books are just kind of miscellaneous books that I want to get read, that I think sound fun, that I think I could enjoy this month, and that I hope to get to at least. The first one is The Last One by Will Dean. I was sent an arc of this by Atria. I'm so excited for this one. I think it sounds so interesting. It's about the characters Kaz and Pete. They are dating and they end up going on this cruise, and the first night there they have a ton of fun. They're eating, they're dancing, they're having a great time, and the next morning when Kaz wakes up, Pete is missing, and she uncovers that everyone is actually missing from the cruise ship. I think this sounds absolutely wild. I don't even know what it actually is going to entail. I did read The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean and I actually really loved it. So I'm hoping this one will be just as enjoyable and just as fun. I think it sounds crazy. I'm hoping it's like a 5-star read. It sounds extremely thrilling and tense, so fingers crossed, I love it. Next is Adrift by Lisa Brideau. This was sent to me by Sourcebooks Landmark. I also think this one sounds very exciting and very tense. This is about the main character S, who wakes up on a sailboat with no memory of who she is, how she got there. She's just on this sailboat in this remote area of the Pacific Northwest, and she ends up finding this note that says, "Start over, don't look back, don't try to figure out who you are," or anything like that, which I think is really suspicious, and honestly that would just make me want to find out who I was, and I would probably just try to figure out everything, because who is telling me what to do? Like, don't tell me what to do. I would probably just try to figure it out myself anyways. But I think the story sounds very intriguing. I haven't heard too much about it, so I don't know what quite to expect, but I really want to get to it, so I'm hoping I do in the month of July. And lastly on my list is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This was also sent to me by Atria. It is coming out August 8th. It is one of my anticipated releases of the year. I absolutely love Lisa Jewell. I love her thrillers. I find them so intriguing, so captivating. I love the characters, so I have really, really high hopes for this one. I think it sounds really, really crazy and wild. It reminds me of the movie A Simple Favor with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. I don't know why, but the plot really gives me those vibes. So this book is about the main character Alex, who is celebrating her 45th birthday. She ends up running into this woman named Josie, who is also celebrating her 45th birthday, and they're actually birthday twins. They have the same birthday. And then a few days later, Alex ends up bumping into Josie again, and Josie tells Alex that she thinks she would make a great guest for Alex's podcast. She's been listening to it and she thinks that she would make a great guest because, you know, things are about to happen in her life, good things. But when Alex starts hanging around Josie a little bit more, she starts realizing that Josie has some secrets, and then Josie kind of gets Alex tangled into some of her stuff going on. I don't know what that means, but it sounds very intriguing. I will probably read anything that Lisa Jewell writes, so I think this one sounds incredible. I'm so excited to give it a try. I just want it to be a 5-star so bad. I want this to be the 5-star Lisa Jewell that I've been waiting for. I'm hoping from the bottom of my soul. I just want to give it 5 stars so badly. Alright my friends, that is it for my July TBR. This is kind of a big TBR. I probably won't get to them all. I'll probably end up changing it. I will be completely honest, I doubt I'll read all of these because it's so hard for me to predict what I'm going to want to read halfway through the month. But I am hoping to get to at least some of these, and I think a lot of them sound really, really good and perfect for the readathons that I'm participating in, and I just think that they'll just be a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that they turn out to be really good picks. Go ahead and let me know what you are going to read for July down below. If you're participating in Summerween, if you're participating in any other readathons, I'd love to know. Let me know what your most anticipated read of July is. If you've read any of these and you think that I will love them or not love them, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this TBR video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you did. That way I know that you enjoy my TBRs and you want to keep seeing them in the future. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon that is linked down in the description box that you can check out if you want to. We can become friends, talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, manga, all that good fun stuff. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!